Hi guys, welcome to DSD classes. Today I will discuss about behavioral modeling in VHDL architecture. So basically VHDL architecture can be written in three styles: data flow, behavioral and structural. Already we have discussed data flow in previous videos. So now in this video lecture I will explain about behavioral modeling. So what a behavioral modeling of architecture is: behavior model is used to execute statements sequentially. So we have whatever the statements we have written in behavioral model, all the statements are executed in sequentially. It shows that how the system performs according to the current statement. So in behavioral modeling, we use process statements, sequential statement, signal assignment statements and wait statements. So we use process statement in behavioral modeling. So we whatever the statements we have written in process statement, those statements are sequential statements. So we use process statement. In process statement, the statements we have written, those statements are called as sequential statements. So coming to this structure of process statement means behavioral model. So in behavioral modeling style in VHDL, we describe the behavior of an entity using sequential statements. So in data flow style, we describe how the data flows. So whereas in behavioral modeling, we describe the behavior of an entity using sequential statements. And this makes it very easy to high level programming languages in syntax and semantics. So this is a high level programming in VHDL. So the primary mechanism to write a program in behavioral style is by using something called process statement. So without process statement there is no behavioral statement. So we have to use process statement in behavioral model. So a behavioral model describes the behavior of an entity using sequential statements, right? So without process statement there is no behavioral modeling. So the syntax of a process is, so a process block contains statements that the VHDL compiler executes sequential. So whatever the statements we have written here, these statements execute sequentially. The syntax of a process block is process label, which is optional, process in bracket sensitivity list. So the output will depends upon these sensitivity lists. So if we have not written this sensitivity list, then this process statement executes forever, right? So we have to mention the sensitivity list is nothing but input list. So then process data objects declaration. So if we want to declare variables or signals or constants, we have to define here. So then begin is a keyword. So then we have to write the sequential statements. So some of the sequential statements are variable assignment statements, signal assignment statements, case statement, loop statement, if statement, assertion statement, wait statement. So these are some of the sequential statements. And end process and process label. So process label is optional. We have to write process, right? This is the syntax of an process block. So next we will see different types of sequential statement which we are using in process statement and their syntaxes. So these are some of the sequential statements: case statement, if else statement, loop statement, for loop and while loop. So there's syntaxes are. So a case statement starts with a case. If we want multiple choices, multiple statement, we use case statement. So case expression is when choices, sequential statements. So we have to write the choices when 0, 0, execute this statement, else when 0, 1, next statements. So when others, here we have to write, definitely we have to mention whether other class and more sequential statement end case. So this is the syntax of an case statement. So next sequential statement is if statement. So any if statement starts with the keyword if followed by Boolean expressions. Then so we have to write the condition here: if a equal to 0, then execute these sequential statements, else Boolean expression, then sequential statement, else sequential statement end if. So this is a loop statement which will execute a running time. So loop sequential statement end loop. So this is a for loop and while loop. So for identifier in range sequential statement end loop, this is a syntax for loop, whereas for while loop, while Boolean expression sequential statement end loop. So these are the different types of sequential statement which we are using in process statement. So we will check one example how we can write a behavioral model. So this is a behavioral model using just a sequential if statement. So this is a statement where we use more half adder program, and this is an example for case statement. So this is first example. So process A comma B, process in bracket sensitivity list means output depends upon, output will change when A changes or output will change when B changes. So if A equal to B and B equal to, if A equal to 1 and B equal to 1, then Z gets here. If here Z equal to 0 when A equal to 1 and B equal to 1, else Z equal to 1. So means if A and B are not equal to 1, then Z get 1. This is one example. And this is an example for half adder, how we write a half adder. If 0, 0, sum equal to 0, carry equal to 0, based on truth table. Else if A equal to 0, B equal to 0, A equal to 0 and B equal to 1, then sum equal to 1, carry equal to 0. Else if A equal to 1 and B equal to 0, then sum equal to 1 and carry equal to 0. Else, so if remaining conditions 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, else sum equal to 0 and carry equal to 1. So end if, end process, end behavior. This is an behavior program for half adder. So and this is a decoder program. So decoder when BCD is when 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, when 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, when others S gets 1, 0, 0, and else. So this is a different example programs for behavioral model. So right, so a behavioral statement modeling style, we describe the behavior of an entity using sequential statement. We have different types of sequential statements. All these sequential statements execute sequentially, and so whatever the statements we use in data flow model, those statements are concurrent in nature and those statements execute in parallelly, whereas in behavioral statement, so whatever the statements we have written, all the statements execute sequentially. So here we have to write process statement. So this is the syntax of a process statement. Thank you.